Welcome, Wolfpack. Welcome to each and every one of you. Wow, it's been way too long, and not because I haven't wanted to, but as it turns out, yes, I've been off for a couple of weeks, and it wasn't through choice. I unfortunately ended up having my Google account suspended, which is amazing because like everything goes down, Gmail, YouTube, you name it, right? So we're back though. I managed to get it sorted out. You know how they do to this channel. They've done it to like 3 other channels of mine across the internet. But we're here. So welcome to everyone. So good to see you all in the chat. Thank you for joining us. It looks like it's, looking like a good house so far. Sandy was the first in the chat tonight. So welcome to see you. Holding up well, thank you yourself. Chatting to me and everyone else. Crypto Sam's with us as well. And Happy Limpets with us as well. And Miss Worm, lovely to see you. It's been too long. Way too long. So I tried to set it a little bit earlier tonight so we could get some time in before it gets late. Got Prophecy 777 as well, 777, great to see you. So yeah, wonderful. And one of our moderators, Daily Survival, in the house, welcoming everybody. And do get yourself over in the live chat, don't be shy. It's a great place to make friends and to catch up with like-minded people who are into preparedness, survival, and all types of prepping type things. So we're just going to have a bit of an overview today, and I'll give you an idea of sort of some of the things I've been working on in the background, because while I've not been able to make videos and while I've been appealing the suspension, which funnily enough is like literally you go through all this stuff and fill out all this stuff, and then you just get a notification several days later just saying your account's been unsuspended. There's no like, sorry, it was a misunderstanding. No like, sorry, it was our fault. Sorry, there was no reason to suspend it. It's just like, wow, thanks for that. Like wiping out 3 weeks of Sigma Prepper's life, basically. And of course, the last, it was really about the worst timing you could possibly have since the problem we had was the last show we did, referring to the channel here, you can see if you go onto the live tab, the last show I'd done was one of the most important ones, which was actually the live unboxing. It was like a soft launch of the Ultimate Survival Hotspot, which is an offline internet backup device which uses a Raspberry Pi as a single board computer. I'll give you a little bit of an overview. I've got one here for you. We'll check it out later on. But literally, I mean, it was the same time. They suppressed that video so badly, it didn't really do anything. So that was a complete disaster. So we'll do a sort of rerun. I need to do the shortened version of that anyway. So thank you to everyone who joined me for that one. So if you're wondering where I've been for the last X amount of days or weeks, then that's where. So thank you to everyone as well. Particularly, I'd like to say a big thank you to the VIP patrons. Because I am 100% independent, no sponsors, no networks, no paid adverts, no monetization, no external funding, no nothing. So, not a problem though, because there are ways to help. All links in the description if you'd like to see the channel keep going. It's a struggle, as you know, so any support in any way would be absolutely wonderful. This channel isn't monetized, but the Streamlabs here, I've set it up so if you do a Streamlabs donation, it will pop up with your message live on the screen so everyone can see your generosity and give you some flex. So thank you to each and every one of the Patreon members. This is a great way to support the channel going forwards from here on in. We get 15% discount on all products. We've got access to the private Discord server, which gives you access to the VIP rooms on there. Anyone can access all the part on the Discord server, but the VIP rooms, we have our after parties, which is a great place to do it. And of course, these are the people making it happen for us. So let's say a big thank you in the chat to the people who have allowed me to come back today. It's always touch and go. Really appreciate each and every one of you. What a super wolf pack we are here. Thank you, couldn't do it without you. So, and again, if you'd like to see yourself up there and you'd like to support the show and you're a believer in the work that I'm trying to do and bring you, then of course these are the ways you can help. So what can I say? Thank you very much to each and every one of you. So talking of Discord server, don't forget that's completely free. Do get yourself over in the Discord server. It's rude not to. Let's have a look if I can get it to go to the right. There we go. Got there in the end. So Discord server, links in description, free to join. You've got loads and loads of rooms. Look at all the rooms here. Like you've got the prepping intel, water storage, food storage, and thank you to everyone who's contributing to that. So go and have a good look through. Loads of decent information in there. And of course, here's your VIP Wolfpack room where after party we'll have tonight and catch up with all you fine people. And it's lovely where we can just talk voice amongst each other, share our ideas, share our challenges and things going forwards. and we've become a great collective of survival information. So thanks to everyone who's joined. Thanks to everybody who contributes as well. And thank you to Daily Survival. She's on it tonight in the live chat for the links. And Father Knows with us as well. Did I say All American Prepper? Oh, do you know, I had to remove a video that you'd put a comment on that I wanted to reply to, and I just felt so bad, right? I was like, oh no, and I couldn't find you on Discord, All American Prepper. Let us know if you're on there, because just DM me on there, man, and we'll get it hooked up, and we'll get you on our live show, and I'll come on your live show and stuff like that. I think that's the way to go forwards as well. Really, really. Oh, look, and he's just said it as well. I'm ready for us to do that live. We're both ready, dude. So we'll get that hooked up in the next week or two, right? Get yourself over on Discord if you're not already. DM me over there, Sigma Prepper, and we'll get that hooked up. So thank you so very much. And again, Daily Survival in there with the Discord link. Thank you, Daily, and thank you to all our mods that we got in here. Kaz is in the house as well. Thank you so very much. Just a quick, please hit the like button if you haven't done already. It does help the show to get out there a bit with all the things that they do in it to hold the channel back. Right, it's becoming quite obvious at this point, right? So if you can share it on your social media, that'd be great. Obviously, we're just doing a bit of a give you an idea what I've been up to. We'll have a little bit of an SHTF intel sesh. We'll see what's been going on in the world. We'll keep it lightweight. We don't want to get too leery, which is part of the problem, right? If you start talking about anything too dodge, they don't like it. So we'll have a little gloss over and we'll see what's going on in the headlines. That'll be about it. And then I'll show you some of the things I've been working on, some of the things I've got coming up that I'll be sharing with you as we go forwards as a channel and as a community. So that's the plan. We'll keep it nice and light and easy, and we won't be too intense. Now, one of the things is I was planning on potentially doing an SHTF intel or some sort of a daily update on the channel, so we can start kicking it back into gear like it was before, right? We've got some time to make up for, so we're going to make sure we do that. So watch out for that coming this week. Bradley Smith was just in there. Great to see you, my man, and had a great chat. On that note, actually, to those of you out there who know some of the sort of pretty challenging situations I've got in my personal life, we won't be talking about that on this channel, but on my other channel we have talked about it. We're just going to draw a line under that, right? We're just going to move on, so we won't be talking about that here. So thank you so very much. Let's have a look. Father No here. Look, Andy, I wish you could get hold of some Snapdragon Elite chips so you could do some of your awesome engineering. I'm doing a lot of work on I've been doing a lot of work on that note on my TIA device, my Tactical Intelligence Assistant. Now, most of you will know TIA as the Tactical Intelligence Reports, which is an AI report I was doing. Just to refer to you to the channel here, if we go down to on the main home, and you'll see we should see a couple of TIAs in there from way back. Again, I had to remove a whole bunch of these, but this is what she looks like, and it's just like an AI report of the main threats, global analysis, critical alerts of things to watch out for. You can always go onto the main Sigma Prepper website as well. When SHTF don't end up around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. And over on the SHTF Intel page here, you'll see we've got the last TIA video we did, and then we got your top threats as well. This was updated 23rd of September, so it's due to be updated this month now. Obviously last month I was wiped out thanks to Google. Love you. But looks like we got totalitarianism as usual at the top. No one's getting rid of that in a hurry. Inflation, economic crisis is starting to show its strengths there. Global conflict, that could even potentially be raised up a notch. We'll see how it pans out. Riots and civil unrest, of course, even more so now what we got going on in the Middle East and things, obviously, right? So go and check in on that. There's a wealth of information over the Sigma Prepper website. And of course, the survival gear, where you will find all the custom exclusive gear, virus protection tools, particularly, obviously, the Survival Hotspot you'll see here as well. Now, I have put a link in the description below that I'm going to repeat what we did before because of the setback we've had and because we've got Christmas coming up. What I've done is we've got... well, I'm doing the special deal again, right? So the link in the description will give you a 15% discount if you're a VIP patron or not, right? So this is kind of how it looks. So get yourself over there. Loads of stuff going on the website. It'd be a shame not to go and check it out. And of course, it'll give you access to all the different social media accounts that you can follow and make sure you don't miss anything going forwards. So, wow, what can I say? Is that Robert McNamara? It is as well. Lovely to see you, man. Squirrels on a stick. Yeah, no one wants to be sitting around a campfire eating squirrels on sticks. Dave Masters. Yes, exactly. I got shut down, man. Got shut down for nothing. Nothing. So, but we're back, so it's all good in the hood. Cosca as well is here. It's lovely to see you all. Pigeon on a stick, more expensive, isn't it? Well, the pigeon on a stick, you're probably going to have to shoot that rather than catch it or snare it like you would a squirrel. Bradley Smith's a fan though, so we're all good. But yeah, in terms of the tactical intelligence system I was going to show you, this is one of the things I've been working on actually in the background. Now, this is just a circuit board. Obviously, for those that don't know, I'm an electronic engineer, software engineer, robotic engineer, and prototyping engineer. And so this is how she looks. This is a touch screen and stuff, and there's various functions that I've figured out on here, but she's basically a mobile tactical security system. Now this is actually, this got a built-in MP3 player in there as well. And she talks, and not only does she talk, but she talks via a ham radio. So this cable here is actually feed straight into a ham radio, like so, into the side. Yeah, so that when she gives you alerts like intruder alert or, you know, radiation alert or something like that, I've got radiation sensors and things, she'll pipe up and let you know what the score is. So I've been working on that as one of the prototypes, but what she's actually going to be going in is a tactical Peli case. So this is a Pelican case, which is my one of my new products that I'm working on at the moment. Now this is pretty hardcore. You're not going to see much anything like this anyway. Now this is only just this is just a blank plate I've had machined, CNC machined. Most of this business is all finished. You'll see what I've got in here are 4 lithium phosphate cells. The benefit of the lithium phosphate over the lithium ion is you're talking about 4,000 or 5,000 recharges rather than about 400 or 500 recharges, right? So in a bug out situation, and there's a full cage system in here, CNC machined aluminium, so that's not going anywhere. And that's Tia sits in the lid with the voice system going, access to ham radio. So we're working on it. It's getting there. It's getting there slowly but surely. So I spent a lot of time coding her up. I think I've added another 350,000 lines of code in the last like 3 weeks or something. So I'm really pleased with that. It's coming along great. Can't wait to show you some separate videos dedicated to showing the progress on the tactical intelligence assistant, and that will be the baseline battery bank bug out system, and it's going to have like USB-C 100-watt input output ports, you name it. It's going to be laden with survival equipment. Look at Tonette in the house, stumbled in. I am listening while starting cooking for Thanksgiving here in the States on Thursday. Is it Thursday Thanksgiving, is it? We'll have to do a special show then for Thursday, and thank you Daily Survival, live super chats. Robert McNamara, he's one of our best super chatterers to try and keep this channel alive. It's such a struggle, so I really appreciate anyone who's able to support the channel in that way. Something else I've been working on, I'll just show you quickly. Let's go here. Now, in terms of the tactical case that you just saw, that includes, one of the things that gets built into that is a MPPT charge controller as well. So we'll be able to charge it, recharge it with, this is a special one that does lithium cells. It's a really good solar charge controller, not the cheapest on the market, but you know, Sigma Prepper, it's all premium stuff, right? Now, what I've been working on is a custom solar panel system, which is fold-upable. I got these solar panels a while ago, right? And I haven't really used them. They're not amazing, but they're better than nothing. These are a pair of 20-watt solar panels. For those people that think that those 10-watt fold-out things are going to do anything at all, forget about it, right? I haven't really done too much to it. I've shaped these boards, rounded the corners in a certain way, just so it fits in one of my, not my main bug-out bag, but my media kit bug-out bag, I suppose you'd call it. I haven't done too much to it, but I've just made a few changes. I've put a special, let's put that one down. Few modifications for those that aren't aware. First thing here, you can see this circuit board I've added in here is a special diode, which will mean that I can then join these two like so. Yeah, and you'll see here these, I've made these which are just Velcro plastic straps, so it means that you can either format your solar panels like this, yeah, and you can put the plates across, or indeed, let's set it up for you. You see, like that. Yeah, super quick. Just bung your Velcro on there, you see it suspends it like that. Or you can put it the other way around as well. And I've got a cable here separate, so you can do either series or parallel connection depending if you want the high voltage or the high current. And that's working out really well so far. I need to do some further tests, but for those that know, in the UK the sunshine here is non-existent. I think sunset is. I'll tell you what, let's listen to Tia, shall we? If you want to see what Tia's all about, I can show you what she's all about. Oh, I have. So, let's see if I can get my desk cam on it. Might not work, but you know me, we like to have a little go. Desk cam. Here we go. That's not too bad, is it? It's a little bit overexposed, but this is what we're looking. This is what we're looking at. So let's get her fired up, shall we? If I double click this one, she'll give us a diagnostic report.
Diagnostics initiated. The time is 51 minutes past 10. Today's date is the 21st of November 2023. Today's sunrise 24 minutes past 7.
24 minutes past 7 sunrise.
Today's sunset 57 minutes past 3.
Oh, got some new moon data.
The moon is 8 days old and is in the first quarter phase of its lunar cycle. Maximum expected illumination 66%, weather permitting. My celestial calculations forecast the moon's psychological influence to be a perfectly normal day, not much to be concerned about. Stay vigilant though. Don't let your guard down. All systems are functioning perfectly. Diagnostics complete. So,
that's what she sounds like. That's how she rolls. So for those that aren't familiar, when I say about her doing diagnostic reports and stuff, but it's actually part of a mobile security system. It's something I've developed for military and things like that, in other elements. So I've just taken a lot of the work I've done for other clients and over the years, and I'm putting it into Tia. So that's going to be cool. Oh, that's a shame to hear, Robert McNamara. Bradley Smith is probably talking about personal stuff by the looks of it. Sorry if you're going to get your comments deleted, obviously, as I mentioned at the beginning. So that's what Tia's up to. And I've found about a year ago, I found an algorithm from MIT, which is a moon psychology algorithm. And it's quite interesting. Sometimes it's a sad day, it's a happy day, or a dangerous day. So tactically, it's important to be able to know what to expect for the day. Just to give it a bit of humanness as well. Because imagine if you were bugged out in the woods and all you had was your tactical case to keep you company, it'd be a little bit like, Wilson, you know, the old rugby ball. Was it rugby ball or football? Let's know in a chat. Was Wilson, that should be a quiz question, shouldn't it? Was Wilson Tom Hanks, wasn't it? Was it a rugby ball or a football? I'm pretty sure it was a football. So yeah, so I've given her a bit of character, a bit more character to keep you company if you're on your own. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Bradley. I'll catch you a bit later on, my man. And great to catch up the other day. Football, was it? Happy Limpet? Yeah. So Tia would be the equivalent of that, except she'll talk and keep you company. And of course, you can recharge her with the sunlight as well. Soccer ball. I mean, here we call it football. America, we call it soccer. Thank you so much. So that's kind of what I've been working on there. And like I say, with the Tia device, you're able to... oh, not that one, this one. With the Tia device, you're able to actually control her through the ham radio and send back tones as well to turn on and off the security system remotely and all this sort of stuff. And don't forget, that's going to be built into that tactical case that you saw with the lithium phosphate battery pack. So that should be pretty cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And of course, then I would be doing another wild camp. For those that haven't seen my style of wild camp, you'll see some on the channel, on the Sigma Prepper YouTube channel. And the last one we did, I've still got a video I need to cut up for it, but we've got the live. I did a live while I was there. We've got the water filtration system that I've demonstrated there, which people love that one actually. Oh, that's a point. I've made some developments on that. So for those that aren't familiar of that video, do check it out. Do check it out on the channel, because it was. Let's just mute that. So we basically go down to the lake, and we get some lake water and filter it with my filtration system, right? You can see how gnarly it looks. Look, out of the lake. Ugh. So this is what it looked like, the water coming out of the lake, and I have a system which goes through a Soya Mini, and then it goes through into a platypus carbon filter to take out any further toxins. And the water that came out of it is absolutely beautiful, right? And I was really surprised. And this was the first time that I've not taken water with me, but just drank it out of the lake through the filters, and it was yummy. I say yummy, I mean, it just basically just tasted like water, right? I was quite tentative as I was tasting it, make sure it was all right before I swallowed it down. And obviously I'm still here now, so it can't have been that bad. So we had that video, and then of course another video that people really enjoyed was the from the same camp actually. This was a stealth camp, so I've got camo netting that I used on this one. The other one that people really enjoyed was the one with the Kelly kettle. Did like a review on the Kelly kettle. And let's get through the... Yeah, you see the camo net in there, look. So that's how my camp looked. Let's skip it in. Let's have a look. And yeah, so that went nice, and made a nice cup of tea with a Kelly kettle. Of course, I like to use the ferrocerium rod and things when we're doing fire lighting, fire starting. So I'll give you some bit of a heads up about my technique, which works perfectly for me and works every single time. Everyone else I ever go on camp with, it's always my job to make the fires. For some reason, they just can never do it. It's just, I don't know why I struggle. And of course, you know, you use the feathering. I do the feathering sticks as well, which is really great tinder. So you can, I think I've got a little bit here showing that somewhere, how I make the tinder. You see here, feather stick. It's a reasonable amount of technique involved, but it's just about getting out there and practicing it, right? And that was what the whole point of that camp was about, was to refine your skills and make sure that you're keeping up your skills. Because they do fade, you know, and it's not, I mean, I've done bushcraft so many times, it's like every time I go back, it's still like, oh, which way around do I put that again? It's like, so it's important to make sure you give yourself an excuse to get into the woods, get into wildlife. And particularly what I did there was a solo camp, so it's just me on my own with a bunch of badgers and squirrels and goodness knows what else in the woods, right? Thoroughly enjoyable. Thank you to everyone who joined me live. I did a live from location as well. Great fun that was, so thank you to everyone who joined in with that. What else we got? So yeah, in terms of, right, in regard to the water filtration system, in terms of new developments that I've got on that, there's something else I've been working on. So for those, I don't know if this was shown in my main, this is my water kit. This is my tactical water kit that I always take with me. Now, just to give you a brief overview, in here you have and I'll show you what the modification is. This is like the version 2.0, right? So I have a clean canteen, yeah, and this particular size, what is it, 42 ounces, I think, are these ones? 40 ounces. And I got a Tatonka cup in the bottom as well, titanium spoon, and things like a fish mouth spreader as well, so you can hang it. But the other bits around here, so in here, this pocket here, this pouch, we've got the Soya Mini. I've put a Ranger band. I don't know if people are familiar with Ranger bands, but I've got a Ranger. You can make a Ranger bands out of an old bike inner tube. But you see I've got some paracord there, and that's, unfortunately it's a green paracord. But you can spin it and it just backwashes it like that. I've got all the associated tubes now with it as well. And what I've done is I've color coded all of the silicone hose. So if it's blue, that means it's clean for drinking, right? You've got, I see preppers doing videos and they got all sorts of pipe in their thing, and they don't seem to care whether it's the pipe that's going from the dirty water or the clean water. In this side pocket here, I've got my mouth, just an optional mouth piece here. So you can drink through that if you want, or you can just use the end of the tube and put it into your container of choice. And then in the same pouch here, we've got the platypus carbon filter. So that's kind of all the same as it was. However, one of the new elements is in here. As I say, I've color coded all of the piping now. You see these are red. It's just heat shrink tubing, right? So the red, it means this is the stuff that's going from the lake water or from the dirty water to the filters. I've got various selections of pipe for various things in there, and these are all red ones. So this is taking it from the lake, right? One of the new things though is, was it not on the end of that, or did I take it off? I was switching up. So now what I've got is this filter. So this is new. I found these are actually for brewing, So this goes on the end of the pipe and you just pop it into the water, right? And you see it's got that stainless steel mesh gauze, and then you'll see that I've just put a marble in it to make it sink, right? Normally the tube would be attached to the end of that. Oh no, here we go. This is the version 3.0. Here we go. This is a slightly smaller one I've decided to go with. But I'm going to take them both down to the lake with me. I've got a marble in there as well to weigh it down. You see it's got the red colour coding, so we know that's going to be for dirty water. So that goes into the lake, right? Now you'll stay with me because there's a reason why I've redesigned this in this way. I'm taking it to the next level, as I always do here on Super Prepper channel. That's the benefit of being a survivalist and a prepper, and also a prototype and engineer, because you can sort of combine the two and really save yourself some time. So in this pocket, this is like the this is the clean, so that's the dirty water pouch, right? This is the clean water pouch. So in here we've got tubing that's got the blue, so we don't get it mixed up and then, you know, mess yourself up, right? We've also, in the clean one, we have the backwashing syringe for the Soya Mini water filter. This is Le Piste de la Resistance. I'm now going to be using an electric water pump, right? An electric water pump to bring, so basically you will have that pipe that you saw with the, what do you call it on it? With the filter will be connected to that, right? And there's a good like 2 meters of hose on that. So that basically lob that into the lake. Like the other end goes onto the input of the pump, electric pump, right? Now what I've done, because I'm an electronic engineer, essentially what I've done here is a little circuit board, which is a PD, a USB-C PD trigger, right? Now PD stands for power delivery. So because this is 12 volt pump and USB is usually 5 volts, right? But if you buy a decent battery bank that's got power delivery with USB-C, then what you can do is actually, I can power this and this boosts it up to 12 volts. And then you've got the other end of the pump that comes out into your container, right? Now, the reason I've done that is because tactically, when I was down at the lake, right, doing the water filtration video, of which I showed you this one here. I'm not sure if it shows it. I think it does. When I go down to the lake, right, this was a disaster. Well, it wasn't a disaster, but this bit here, right, while I'm filling up or trying to fill up the collapsible water container in the lake, right, what you don't see here is this was about 3 minutes. This was about 3 minutes. You see the collapsible water container, it just goes flat. So of course the water pressure squashes the sides in, so you can't just dunk it down and it fills itself up, right? You can with a bucket or a bottle, but not a collapsible container. So that was a problem for me, and I thought, I can't be messing around for 3 odd minutes. 3 minutes 20, I think I looked on the edit back. You can't be messing around for 3 minutes with your back turned. This is like bug out situation. This is preparedness for, right? We're prepping for bugging out. Or even if you're not bugging out, and obviously there's a power outage or a grid down scenario, and that would mean the water would turn off after time anyway, once the water pressure in the provincial water supply starts to drop, right? And so what you need to do is you would need to go to the lake or your local a body of water that you've selected as being your safe drinking water. Now, because that was such a pain in the backside, I thought what's easier is if I just throw that into that lake there, yeah, the filter. First of all, it's already having the pre-filter before it even hits the pump with this stainless steel gauze mesh, right? And it means that I can just set it up, and I think it does 25 seconds a litre, right? So 5 litres is going to take, you know, a couple of minutes max. But the benefit of it is you can just turn it on and just walk away, right? And just leave it going. It's just very quiet as well. I'll put some rubber feet on the pump. I've got some Velcro on the bottom of the pump so I can attach it to actually the top of my tactical water pouch here. So the pump just literally sits on top of that. And off it goes. One of the tests I did, just to see if it would, right? And this is going to be the way I roll now, is it's pretty good. I can go straight from the lake through the pump into the soya filter and into the carbon filter and then into the container, yeah, in one move. So this would just come straight into the container as clear water ready to drink, and you're talking about a litre a minute, and I haven't to do anything. There's no gravity feed, there's no anything like that, right? And I don't have to go and collect the water and then bring it back and then filter it. It's just, it filters it on the way into the container. So that was the benefit of coming up with the electric pump idea, was that it means that you don't have to be fishing around. And tactically, you have to consider, you may not always be able to be like you saw me doing there on the last on my bushcraft camp, where I'm sort of like leaning over that pier thing here. This is like where people go fishing, yeah. So you've got these convenient piers where and so you see, I can literally just have you can access the water, but if the water was a little bit further away, you wouldn't be able to just reach down and be scooping it up. And who wants to be scooping it up anyway? Because you're going to be scooping the scum off the top of the water surface. So by using the filter idea that drops in, I want to have a fishing float ideally where it matches the weight, so that it would stay underwater the right amount, so that you're not taking it from the sediment at the bottom and you're not taking it from the top where it's all scummy like you normally would if you're scooping up water into your container. So it's kind of designed to solve all the problems that I came across on that camp. This is why I do it, because every single time I do a bushcraft camp, when I come back, I've got a million ideas of how to make it easier, better, more efficient, more reliable, yeah, and everything else. So I haven't tested it in the wild yet, but in my lab conditions, we need to do another live in the lab, don't we? Stigma Prepper live in the lab, so we'll do that. And we'll run a test using the new setup, and then we'll take it down the lake and we'll see how it gets on, right? But the point being is that by having the nice length of tubing with the filter on the end of it, right, it means that, let's get back to the full cam so you can see what go on. So you see the sort of, you know, got a nice old length of silicone hose here. I changed the diameter to be 1mm wall thickness, which saved 50% of the weight, which is always important when you're bugging out. Now, you can fling this into the river, right, and you don't have to be able to reach it. That's the benefit. And the pump's good enough, it can pull water through all of that. And then you'd have another length of hose going into your container through your soya filters. So that's one of the new designs I've come up with for my water filtration kit. It's still work in progress, but it is finished, it is working, it's all complete. So I'm super happy about that. I was going to get my other little thing I've built as well, but I think I'll show that on another video. So let us know what you're thinking about that in the chat, and if you think you like the idea of having the electric pump rather than, you know. And of course, with, as I said to you earlier, with the TIA, the Tactical Intelligence System, with the battery bank that I've been working on in the Pelly case, and with the new solar panel system I've built as well, which is just a nice fold-up job. This piece here as well, this was a pain. I had to machine that out of carbon fibre, because it's nice and because it's lightweight and because it's super strong, right? But this is just carbon fibre. I put some little hinges on there from, I fly model helicopters, model RC planes, and you know, I'm an RC pilot for like 20 odd years plus. So I've got loads of stuff like that. So that's, the idea is this goes on here, right? And then there's a carbon fibre pole coming out of there, right? And then that's obviously how you can lean it back. Depending on your orientation, I've put Velcro on this way so you can have it landscape rather than portrait. But when I tested this in the garden, it works so beautifully well. It's not even funny. I must find the cap to go back on that. It popped off and there we go. When I wanted to show you the ideal diode circuit in there. So if you think about it, if you've got your solar panel system there, you've got your charge controller, and you've got your battery bank, I can continually keep my battery banks charged up, which is how I'm able to then power the USB-C In fact, to tell a lie, this pump's rated at 12 volt. The way I configured the little circuit board in here, I've soldered in as a heat shrink. That's just USB-C. You need a PD compatible USB-C battery bank. Most of the modern ones are. If you haven't got PD USB-C on your battery bank, you haven't got a battery bank, right? But you can actually get 20 volts at a USB-C PD. So, but I've set this one to 15, so I'm sort of overclocking the pump, which it doesn't mind. It's a brushless motor, so they're quite happy being overclocked, right? So this is the plan. It's a nice little pump. I was well surprised, and it fits in. You know, it just fits in the pouch along with all the other stuff. Super small, right? And that's what we got. There's a few other little bits and pieces in here that are boring stuff. I got things like this in my this is a disabled toilet, a disabled WC key. Yeah, you can get them on eBay if you know where to look, because you'll find they're not much cleaner inside there, and they tend to be still operational. What else I got in here? I thought there was a fireman's key, so I've got a fireman's key. Get yourself a fireman's key. Now what these are, they've got all the right things to do, like public utility, where you can always turn water on. That has everything that you can imagine. I'm going to do a full breakdown. I've got stuff like a thermal blanket. I've got litmus test paper. Oh, and also inside here, inside the clean canteen, is now, I forgot I'd even put it in there. Inside the clean canteen is my digital water tester. So this is a special probe, right? And it measures like 5 different things. Things like temperature, pH value, ppm in terms of how many parts per million crap in it, yeah. And then there's the electrolyte level as well. So you've got a TDS, the total dissolvable solids, temperature, and so on. So that's pretty cool. And I use that just to sort of make sure that what you're doing and what you're drinking isn't going to be a complete disaster. So that is my kind of latest version. It's not quite finished, but I'm looking to do some testing on that in the labs. So do look out for that video. I'll be doing that soon. A couple of refinements on it before I show everyone completely. So I'll do a live in the labs showing what I've got rocking with my new water filtration system. They've got some water tabs in there, you know, purification tablets and things. Some cleansing wipes, distractions. So that's what I got. Oh, and storm matches. Just got a bunch of stuff, but that's everything I need for water filtration. So that's the version. Well, it's actually more like a version 3.0 water filtration kit. Most pharmacies will have a disabled toilet key. Thank you very much. That's why I love the Wolfpack here, because the toilets key is a UK thingy. Info for US peeps. Don't you have special toilets for special people? The whole system is awesome. Thank you so much, All American Prepper. Nice to have the pump, but I think gravity fed would be the better choice to less maintain or break. No, it's the opposite. The problem is with gravity feed, it's an absolute nightmare. First of all, trying to filter it before you put it in your main bag, because that was what I did last time. Nightmare. And you know, the thing is that because it's a set and forget, you can get down to the lake. The lakeside, yeah, and I can just dunk in. I can just do other stuff and keep watch out. I don't have to watch it. I don't have to be leaning over, doing, you know, being distracted by that. Don't forget, this is for an SHTF scenario, right? So you've got to be on guard. You've got to be checking your 6 and making sure you ain't got any enemies coming in from any angle. If you're bending over doing that on your own, you ain't going to be able to see what going on. And these are all, this is the Sigma Prepper channel. This is about Sigmas. This is about people who are on their own. This is about force multipliers, yeah, for having a one-man army, basically, yeah. And technology is the way I do it. And so having an electric pump means that you can focus your attention on making sure you're checking out your environment, your surroundings. And that pump is absolutely flawless. It's a brushless pump. So there's no breaking of it. There's no brushes. There's no bearings to wear out. It's a water floating bearing. But don't forget, with everything I've got in the kit, I still have the option of the gravity fed. Yeah, so it doesn't stop you doing the gravity feed, but why would you need to when I can just suck it straight out of water, straight through the filter, straight into your clean water carrier? Job's a good one, right? So that's the idea. That's why I designed it in that way. But we will be doing. I have done a soak test in prototype engineering. A soak test is when you just leave something running on your my lab area. You just leave it running for days on end, right? And it's fine, and reasonably inexpensive. So I'm actually tempted to set up a custom water kit system that I put together a la Sigma Prepper, and maybe offer that to people where it's all figured out. You get all the bits, it's all thought through, all the pipes already color coded. I'll maybe offer that as a all-in-one kit, and then you just add your filters, right? But you'll get the pump, the pipes, and a few other bits and pieces, and a pouch perhaps, right? Let us know your view on that in the chat. Let us know if you think that's a good idea. They'll push you in the drink, says Carolyn. Great to see you, Carolyn. I hope you're all good there over in Australia, my lovely. What else we got? There's loads of stuff I've been working on and building, because of course this is my frustration. For those that don't know, the reason I've been offline for a month is because YouTube, not YouTube, but Google suspended my Google account, like basically for nothing. They've done so much to suppress this channel. It's just mean at this point, right? It's affecting me financially, because you know we should have had all this rocking months and years. A year ago, we should be up to speed here on the channel, but I've had so much censorship, it's not even funny. And then just as I launched my new, the new version of the Ultimate Survival Hotspot, which I did that demo of, that was the last video I did, the live demo of the Ultimate Hotspot, which comes in its own RF protected, EMP proof leather case. You see it's got the silver lining, yeah. And it looks like that for those who haven't seen it. So it's a Raspberry Pi. This is laser engraved aluminium shield plates. Yeah, the ultimate hotspot. SigmaPrepper.com. And there's a magnetic USB contact, a USB that's got a magnetic thing on there. Boom. Right. That's all it is. Bung it into your small USB battery bank. And then this also rotates, which is pretty cool. That USB jobby. And so that's what the hotspot looks like. That's already booting up, actually. That's already booting up to give us offline internet and forbidden knowledge, loads of survival guides. I've got all the SAS stuff on there. I've got all the military handbooks as well. The US Corps latest MS version, whatever it is, US Corps handbook as well for the military. It's all built in there. 60,000 books. The entire 6.3 million pages on Wikipedia, all searchable, all accessible on this tiny little device that weighs virtually nothing and takes virtually it takes 1 watt, less than 1 watt. So you can run that for weeks, a couple of hours a day on one battery bank that's about this size. So don't forget, that's linked in the description below. And for this next week, we're going to be doing special deal on that every day. So do get yourself in the link description below. You'll see the Ultimate Hotspot. It's on the website. It's a very simple buy it now button over on the website. If you click the link with the VIP hotspot, the Ultimate Survival Hotspot, you'll come here. Although you'll see, it should be the VIP version where you get a discount. VIP meaning you're a patron supporter of the channel, right? Oh no, got that wrong. Oh, I know why. It's because I need to go in there first. I built my own website. You'd think I know where things are. Here we go. SHTF internet hotspot for when the grid goes down. So I've got a full production video that's very nearly done. Narration's done. Some of the graphic design work's done. Some of the cinematography's done. I just need to do some other little bits of footage. But this is what it looks like. It brings you up with a full menu of all the things you can click onto. There's like 160 Canadian prepper videos. You get the 256 gigabyte SanDisk Extreme. This is a special custom order SD card that's more resilient to things like low temperatures, high temperatures, and the radioactive immunity is enhanced on these, so they're not just like some standard SD card, right? And then yeah, you're off. And yeah, I was trying to launch this last week, and you get everything in the kit. You got a backup USB lanyard. I don't know those that know, but this this here, the carry case. This is actually a backup. This is a backup USB cable. Yeah. So even the little lanyard's a USB cable. So I finished the design on that a few months ago. And I've got a good amount of stock. And I need to turn that stock around so I can start developing the other products and things as well. I've got 14 products in development for Sigma Prepper. So I'm really excited about getting them out to you. So if you think this is the sort of thing you'd be interested in, it's an absolute lifesaver. Knowledge is power when it comes to a grid down scenario. 229 buckaroonies. I mean, you're talking, we're getting near to cost price at this point plus shipping. That's international shipping, fully insured, fully tracked, included in that price. Usually it's $269, $289 down to $269, but for a VIP Patreon member, $229. But like I say, leading up to Christmas, we can get that price whether you are Patreon or not. The link is below this video if you'd like to take advantage of that, right? And I'd really appreciate you. So this demo movie here is the one that I need to finish. But if you'd like to have more information on that, then you can jump onto where do we want this one? If you go onto live, you'll see here the unboxing and demo, the ultimate survival hotspot grid down prepping, right? So go and check that out, and it will give you a bit more of an overview as to what it does, how it will save you and your family, how it can also operate as a really good force multiplier in your community as a barter tool, really. I mean, you can provide information to your neighbors and things, and you can have multiple people connect to it wirelessly at once. So what you do is you essentially, once this fires up, it just sits in the corner, and you just use your normal mobile phone or a tablet that's Wi-Fi enabled, and you'll see it comes up as like a hotspot, as a Wi-Fi connection point, like in a hotel. And then you get the menu pop up and you go do whatever you want. With all the information, critical survival tools that are on there. So do bear that in mind, because I spent a long time bringing that into its development as to what it is now. And people that have had them say generally it's one of their most, one of their best prepping items, because you can't carry, I mean, this is like having an entire library of books in your bug out bag, right? And it's all searchable. You can't search a library of books, can you? Not to mention they're about a kilogram, a couple of pounds each book, right? That's like a few grams. Oh, and also if you are a VIP Patreon member, as a way of saying thank you, you will get a special gift in there, which is a bunch of extra magnetic contacts to use with that special, with the special USB connector. So you've got USB-C, Lightning, and another micro in there as well as a special gift. So do take advantage of that if you are able to. It would be super appreciated. It will help this channel stay alive. So thank you so very much. Talking to keeping the channel alive, daily science, survival. Thank you for your moderation, my darling. To help Andy and this channel's live super chats. Of course, this channel hasn't been monetized because YouTube keeps censoring it so badly and removing subscribers from it. So great way to support this channel and make sure I keep coming back is to do the Streamlabs super chat, and you'll get a ding come up here. With your message. Thank you to Last Me for a month ago or whatever it was, the last video we did, for your support, keeping things rocking. So thank you so very much. Best thing I have to save me when things get hairy. Absolutely, Sandy. Thank you for being an owner of your very own ultimate hotspot. Put 80s box set of a team, Full Guy and Knight Rider on it. Absolutely brilliant. Well, there's 160 Canadian prepper videos. I'll tell you what else there is there, actually. Is it Mindfield? That's brilliant. There's about, oh, and the entire homeschooling education video set as well. I've crammed into that device. So there's something for everyone in there, right? Took a long time to put together, a lot of development, right? You can make your own, but you are going to spend weeks messing about, right? And unless you're sort of IT savvy, forget about it, right? So thank you so very much. Sign me up for one. Is this the water thing? Yeah, we only have extra large stalls with multiple toilet rooms. Oh, I see. In terms of the key, special key you can buy. Yeah, again, you know, might have 2 or 3 certain parts just in case. I mean, that's why I've got so many different types of pipe in my bag, so I can use at different lengths. The pump thing's not a problem because that's a bonus anyway, right? The electric pump for the water kit, because it means that, you know, you can still do the gravity feed. You still got your filters and everything, right? Just trying to catch up with everyone live in the chat. And please do join in the chat if you're watching in the background. And don't be shy, everyone, friends here. And even if you've never been here before, they'll welcome you straight in. And offline internet hotspot is my most important survival item. Thank you so very much. Yeah, everyone will find something of use on it. So that's what we've got going there. There's been a few updates on that, but you see, normally I would have made a list of things I wanted to talk about, but for me today, it was more about just from a personal note, just letting you know we don't need to worry about it. I'm all good in the hood. And obviously to let you know where I've been for the last month with the Google suspension, right? So it's all good now. So thank you so very much, All American Prepper. And the other thing as well is I've got an affiliate scheme that I want to set up for it, so that, you know, if you wanted to, you can have a link and you can provide that if you have your own channel. And anyone who wants to, you know, grab one, you'll get a 10% commish, and they'll get a 10% discount as well, which is a great deal. So it's all thought through. I'm sure, you know, I'm really proud of it, how it's come out. They look absolutely beautiful. That laser engraving's come out so lovely, and the laser engraving doesn't rub off and things, you know. So yeah, super happy. It's so small and lightweight, I've lost it. Here it is. I'm just going to show you there. Got Hugo Bear on the chair as well. So that's how they look. So do get yourself one of them if you feel it's something that you can benefit from, which of course you can. Should we see what Hugo's up to? Look, there he is. Hello, mister. Hugo Bear. He's just kipping on the chair. Hugo Bear, kipping on the chair. You right? He's sniffing. For those that don't know, Hugo's a 60 kilogram, 130 pound is he? Bull. South African Mastiff. He's looking at me now. I did keep doing that. I did convince him that he could. I did suggest that he could have some sausages. What did Daddy say? Huh? Did Daddy say sausages? See the flapping? Yeah. You want some sausage? Sausages? Let's give him a sausage, since no one's seen Hugo Bear for a good couple of weeks. It's just rude. And this is coming in courtesy of Purple Flurple. Sent these off an Amazon gift list. So thank you so much, Purps. I really appreciate it. It's going up for your sausage then, mister. There's a good boy. There we go. We'll let him have one of them, and that'll keep him happy. Oh, look at that. Netrum design in the house. My hotspot is great. I never leave home without it. Oh, brilliant idea. Nicely done, Netrum. And thank you so much for your support. So if you want to do a Streamlabs super chat, this is what it looks like, because of course I'm not monetized. I never will be at this rate with the way YouTube's holding this channel back. But thank you so much, Netrum. I really appreciate it. You've got no idea how important that is. That's like the difference between me paying the phone bill or not at this point. So thank you so much, my man. And thank you for being such a great member of the Wolfpack. Look at Leslie as well. You're such a wonderful bunch. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lasme. And I really appreciate your support. It does mean a lot to me. Right, Hugo Bear, do you want to get on your chair then? Go on in, up. That's because he knows he usually gets two. He's going to go and do his thing. Hopefully he's not going to need to be let out, but he'll be good. Thank you so much. Look at the love as well for the people who are doing a super chat. So I do love this community here on the Sigma Prepper channel. Lasme's just there working, and love to have a catch up with you as well. I've had so many calls over the last week or two. People I've been talking to with some of the things that have been going on in my life behind the scenes. It's pretty horrific, to be honest, but you know, that's all part of the survival mindset, right? It's all about, you know, being stoic and understanding your strengths, and you know, and just pushing through. You go on the chair. Go on in, up. I love the way he just walks onto chairs like a, you know, when a lion walks onto a platform, he just gets on. He doesn't like jump up like normal dogs, because obviously he's quite tall, but he just climbs up like a lion. That's hence the lion bear. There, oh dear. Sneaky Sheets Batman. Thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much, Netrum. And gotta be loving the sausages. So thank you for the love going out to peeps who are. Is this updated from the first one you did, Andy, or just Posh Cosmetics? I've loved the new case. Yeah, it's essentially because the content that's on there is so well refined. That's version 38 That's version 38 of the software on there. But I have got, like Netrum Design, for example, he's got the original SD card. He's got his own Raspberry Pi. So he was asking if we could do something where you get all the other bits and pieces with it without that to save some money. And that's a yes. Now, I'm almost tempted to, because the problem is, obviously, because I do things properly as an electronic engineer, right? I've got a thermal pad in there for the CPU. I've also got, I use thread lock on the screws. You would need to unscrew it, put your own Raspberry Pi in. I'm almost tempted to make it as cheap as I can make it that actually comes with a Raspberry Pi, but just no SD card for those that already have just the SD card, which was an option last year for people. So I am doing that, and I'm going to set up a separate payment link for that. So if you think you might be interested in that, let us know on Discord. And I'll make sure I list that on there with the link so that you can get everything with it. It just won't have the SD card. Because if I do it where there's no Raspberry Pi and you've got to put the aluminium shield plates on it, everything like that, it's just, I don't want there's no point having a possibility of it going wrong. And I've got a reasonably good supply of the Raspberry Pis now. So we'll do it like that, I think. So let us know if you're up for that. And, we'll get that figured out. God, dear, I've been banging it out today, innit? I don't even know. I didn't have a list or anything. I'm just literally rolling as we go. I just wanted to say hello and sorry for being, well, not sorry for being suspended, but I will apologise on behalf of YouTube or Google for suspending me for nothing. Thank you so much, everyone. Welcome, Wolfpack. Cheers to you all. To this wonderfully loyal and friendly community of people who are all into survival and preparedness and understand why we're doing what we're doing here, because if you look around the world, it's pretty clear that things aren't particularly looking safe and stable in any way particularly. So the time is coming pretty close. Pedigree Mungle in the house. Thank you so very much for being here. Great to see you. So what we're going to do is, I think we should just have a little bit of an SHTF intel sesh. We'll just have a very quick look at the headlines and check out the earthquakes and the space weather and things like that, right? Just to have a little bit of an overview as to what's going on. So that's the plan. So let's do that now, shall we? Yes, let's. SHTF intel. Let's get into it. Have a quick look at the headlines. Here we go. Let's get into the gnarliness, shall we? We'll see what's been hitting the fan around the world today with a global analysis. Again, we'll just do a brief one. We won't do the full show, but I was tempted to come and do an SHTF intel on a daily basis. It's going to be tough work to do, but we need to do it because, this is crunch time. We've got to get this channel rocking where it should be. We need to push past all this censorship. We need to push past all this shadow banning. And all the effort that YouTube's making to destroy this channel, we need to push back against it. So I'm going to try doing a daily, or at least every other day. We'll see how things go. I've got a lot of stuff going on in the background as well, which I need to bear in mind. But we'll do a few things off here at least, and we'll just have a quick look through what's been going on. I think we'll just have a quick gloss at the headlines. Just use BBC for the time being. Israel's cabinet votes on hostage deals. Netanyahu say war will continue. So yeah, it's still kicking. You've got spy satellites being launched by North Korea, which of course is just going to increase the tensions between those regions. 600,000 displaced, floods in Somalia, not a good look. First video emerges of the Indian dude stuck in a tunnel. So you've got loads of things going on. But I think what we'll largely focus on today, so we can get out the other side, is we'll check out the earthquakes. Doesn't look like there's too much going on. 34 earthquakes on the map, which is about average. Between about 28 to 35 is what we usually expect to see. Doesn't look like there's any anomalies anywhere. And there's no big ones either particularly. Got a few shallow ones there. But nothing to worry about. 8 kilometre there, look. In Fiji. 5.1. How's... Oh no, it's still rocking down there. Puerto Rico had massive flurries quite regularly, but it doesn't seem to be anymore. But I'll tell you what I did notice when I just set a few of these tabs up, right, is the sheer number of sunspots on the way round. Look, this is visible sunspot regions, right? We're back to having major epic levels of sunspots by the looks of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, to know what the sunspot numbers would normally look like, right, you can go onto the Space Weather Enthusiast page, which I like to use if you know how to use it. New URL, nice to know. It says green across the board here, look, but when you come down, you'll see down here is the solar cycle sunspot number progression. So what this does is it shows you the trend of the number of sunspots on the visible solar disk. And you can see this has been trending way outside of the normal region. And you can see that has started to come back down to within the typical margin, which is the grey area. And the red is the predicted where it should be for this solar cycle 25. Now, we are just entering into just a change of the polarity of the sun. For those that aren't aware, the sun does flip its poles once every 11 years. And so we're at that point now. Now, it has dipped down, look. I mean, we'll go up here and the monthly values were 160 sunspots on the sun for June, with a predicted of only about 75, 80. So that's literally more than double the sunspots we would expect to see. More than double. I mean, that's an anomaly, that is. But I'm interested to see what it's going to be like this month, because look at this absolute mess coming around from the western limb of the sun. Now, this, if you see, this one here isn't even a numbered sunspot. So only the numbered ones are counted. So in these like 10 or whatever we got sitting here, right? And we know that if we look here into the month we're in now, November, the predicted values is 90 sunspots, right? Don't really need a calculator for it, but for those at home, I'll do it. If you've got 90 sunspots expected for the month, divided by 30 days, right? 3, again, you don't need a calculator for it, but 3 a day would be what would be in line with the predicted value. 3. But this is not 3. This is like 10, right? So I've got a feeling this is going to be launching right up. Now, my concern here is that these are going to combine and become magnetically complex in their what do you call it? So if you come to sunspot summary, right, and it lists all the sunspots there, and you can see here you got the classifications. So here, beta gamma, you got beta gamma delta is what you need for it to be like X-class flare capable. But once you get magnetic mixing, you got alpha class here, which is basically you don't have any. If you had blue bits the other side of the red bits in between the other, you'd start getting mixing, right? But what can sometimes happen, this is a big one, look, beta delta. Once it goes beta delta gamma or gamma beta delta, that's when you're talking super unstable. That the magnetism is mixing all the way around, north, south, the polarity of the magnetic field lines as they come out of the sun. Now, my concern is that this entire batch of sunspots are all so tightly grouped that if they combine into one super flare, then you're going to definitely wish you'd got yourself an ultimate hotspot when you got the chance now, before obviously Christmas shipping is going to be a problem in a few weeks' time. So I'd definitely get it in sooner rather than later if you're interested in order for that. But if these combine, this could be a pretty epic solar flare. Now, bear in mind, the sun takes 28 days to do one rotation, right? So if you break that down, you're talking about 13.5 degrees per day of rotation. So you can work out roughly at what point those sunspots are going to end up being Earth-facing centre disk. Yeah. Now, ideally, you would want sunspots to be southern. Well, not ideally not. But the worst case scenario is if those sunspots are on the southern equatorial region, meaning that those sunspots are positioned lower than the equator. Because if you look at where Earth is as it goes around the sun, it's not dead middle, it's slightly below the sun as it goes around. So the flare needs to kind of angle down towards Earth. So you don't really need it to be bang in the middle. You want it to be slightly ahead of where we are, because of course it takes several days for the flare to reach us, and while that time we're going around the sun, so the flare actually needs to go off to the side so that we meet it in the future, is how it works, just so you know. So if these things combine in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5, 6 days, this is going to be properly Earth facing, right? So we're definitely going to be watching this. It's a good job I'm planning on doing a daily SHTF intel if I can commit to do that. That is the plan, but I'll get as close to that as I can for you. So we definitely want to keep our eye out on the sun, because that's the definite way that our grid can get taken down. The reason why the reason why we're so susceptible to solar flares at the moment, which is why I'm talking about it, is the fact that Earth's own magnetosphere has been fading, or is actually collapsing, and the poles are splitting. People talk about pole flips, but we ain't got to worry about that, or pole divergence. It's more about the fact that the South Pole is already split into two, and it starts causing problems with our magnetosphere, and it's about 20% less than it was 100 years ago, and 15% of that has happened in the last 20 years. I know people hate all these numbers, but just to give you an idea, our Earth's magnetosphere is collapsing at an ever progressive rate. So the problem with that is that it's our magnetosphere that protects us from the gamma radiation from the sun and the cosmic radiation. Now, cosmic radiation causes things like, what do you call it, in the atmospheric level, where it creates water and it creates all sorts of nasty stuff. And because our magnetosphere protects us from the solar flares, now when we get a solar flare, it doesn't need to be some big X-class X28 like it was in the Carrington event, which took the entire global grid down for back in 1868, whatever it was. I mean, don't forget, back then they only had telegram lines and stuff like that, but it set them on fire. Modern day, you're absolutely see you later, goodbye to all satellite communication, absolute see you later to most grids, power stations and things, right? So it can be pretty devastating in terms of the damage. Now, let's have a quick look in the... let's go and... should we do quotes? I did put a few quotes together for you, actually. I need to do some hokery-pokery. I need to do hokery-pokery to get to the quotes. I need to sort these buttons out. So let's do that then, shall we? Should we just have a quick couple of Sigma quotes? Let's do it. And of course, get yourself on Discord and you can add your own quotes in there that we can show to everyone in the next one. Ooh-ha! Are you a Sigma type? Sigma personalities focus on personal development, self-reliance and skill set building. For those that didn't know what a Sigma personality, it's at the top of the food chain, basically. You've got alphas underneath that, you know, the people that think they're all big and hard and stuff, but they're usually on their own, they're absolute wuss. Sigmas are independent, don't need anyone else's opinion, don't need anyone to tell us what to do. We don't really feel the need to tell anyone else what to do, unlike, you know, betas who like to be told what to do, alphas who like to tell people what to do. So that's the idea of a Sigma prepper, right? So first one we got then, coming in from Daily Survival. It is never too late to be who you might have been. Beautiful one. Feels pretty apt. It is never too late to be who you might have been. Coming in from Daily Survival, and that quote's from George Eliot. And this is one of the quotes that have been added onto our Sigma Prepper community server on Discord. The link is in the description below. You'll see the Sigma quotes with the brain icon. You can see top left corner there is what the page looks like. So yeah, next one in is from Lasme. Thank you so much again, Lasme, for your super chat. Really appreciate that. An environment that is not safe to disagree in is not an environment focused on growth. It's an environment focused on control. An environment that is not safe to disagree in is not an environment focused on growth. It's an environment focused on control. Wendy Jade. Brilliant one there, Lasme. Really like it. It reminds me of that other one. If both people agree in a conversation, one of them isn't needed. If both people agree in a conversation, one of them isn't needed. Brilliant. Thank you so much for sending the quotes. And of course, like I say, get yourself over to Discord. Links in the description below. No excuses. Free to join. And you'll see the Sigma Quotes room. and you can just add your own favourite quotes in there. And if I really, 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 really like it, then I'll show it to everyone next week. So thank you so very much for sending in the quotes. And, you know, the more quotes we get in there, the more we can have as part of this show. I really enjoy that. So thank you to you two who sent the quotes in for this week. So should we get back into let's get back out of it then. Don't forget, get your own quotes in there. Just looking at how long we've been streaming, it's like over an hour already. It's like, how has that time gone? I just feel like I've been waffling the entire time. Oh dear. Thank you, Daily Survivors. You've got the link in there for Discord, look. So get yourself in there. You're talking about a EMP proof bag. It's essentially it would only shield so much for an epic level. Now you see, solar flare, let's just deal with this for a minute, right? There's a difference. Hey Jenny Simon, great to see you. There's a difference between a solar flare and an EMP, right? Electromagnetic pulse from, let's say, a nuclear warhead will generate an EMP, but the actual EMP specific warheads, they're detonated at about 100 kilometers altitude, and they're specifically designed to give a very intense electromagnetic pulse. But the difference is that electromagnetic pulse is extremely high frequency. The military use the frequency of their EMP specifically designed to interact with the small circuit tracks on PCBs, printed circuit boards. So where I'm an electronic engineer, do prototype engineering. This is my tactical intelligence system that I'm prototyping at the moment. So all these small little tracks, I mean, this is in prototype form at the moment, but all these little circuit tracks and the little legs there on the microchips and things, right? The wavelength of an EMP is designed to be resonant frequency of the length typically of the tracks of things like the circuit board copper tracks. And what it means is it's like a little bit like when you got harmonics, you know, and sound frequency matching, you get harmonic. That's how it's designed. So essentially what it is that like Qi charging, you know, Qi charging, the wireless charging, same thing. Yeah, but the frequency is so high that all of that extra energy from the EMP is collected inside those PCB tracks, and essentially it just overloads the circuitry. Now, solar flares are different. Solar flare, yes, it's an electromagnetic pulse, but it's not. It's a very low frequency. It's like whoa, 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 and that gets picked up in those long transmission lines across your country, you know, where you get the long power lines that go across there. Nearly knocked my solar panels off there. Basically, the energy gets collected in those long power lines across the country because the frequency is a lower frequency, meaning it's got a longer wavelength. And so it gets picked up in that, and that energy gets to the power transformers in our cities and our provinces and basically overloads them, and boom. So that's actually a bigger problem. I've actually seen tests done on a military type EMP style pulse right next to an Apple iPhone, and he had to shove something like 100,000 volts into the EMP device to even get it to even just make the screen go black for only a small limited period of time, and it just comes back on again. So don't overestimate what an EMP can do. It can affect a wide area, but as long as you've got something even slight, I mean, you just keep stuff in your microwave. A microwave by its very nature is a Faraday cage, right? So a Faraday cage is a cage that Faraday is the guy who invented capacitors. We ain't going to get into that. But anyway, then let's just say that solar flare, you don't need to worry so much about your electronic equipment getting done. It's the infrastructure that needs to worry about a solar flare because of the way it takes out those transformers, and those transformers aren't replaceable. It's not like you can just buy another £1 million, those massive transformers in the stations. They're custom order and they take about 18 months to make. So the problem is that when you've got no power to make a new one, you have to hand wind them with copper, and it will take years and years. It's just never going to happen. Our grid could be taken down for like a couple of years or more, but the problem is society breaks down after only about like 60 to 90 days. 60 to 90 days. It was only 25 days in Venezuela before they started eating zoo animals. So you got less than a month in some areas of shit hitting the fan, to the point where you end up people having to raid zoos and eating zoo animals. So imagine after 90 days of a complete and utter grid down scenario, it's really not a good look at all. So yes, what else we got going? Don't know. Economic crisis, right? Let's have a quick look and see what's going on with the numbers. I have noticed, of course, we've got the crypto seem to be doing all right. I mean, I've seen the total market cap go up to 1.37 trillion now, which is an improvement. I'm just going to have a quick look at the individual crypto prices for you, see what Bitcoin's doing. So 36 bags of sand, basically, just a touch under 36 bags. Just under 2 bags of sand for the Ethereum. But we are looking down as a whole on the crypto market, but more of a long term, it's not actually looking too bad. So yeah, crypto's all right. But again, I've lost a bit of faith in that. I've done a lot of blockchain development work over the years. I was well early into Bitcoin. It's just I never bought any because when I was into it, there was no exchanges. It was literally either you got sent some or you mined it. There was no exchanges way back when I was first following it. And then when I was really into it, my efforts were focused on blockchain development rather than trading. So let's have another look at, I want to have a look at, what do we want? We want gold, silver prices. Let's see what the precious metals are doing, because that's a good reflection of the market. Well, it would be if it wasn't completely manipulated, but there you go. Let's get rid of that banner. Boom. So here's your precious metal prices. Look, we have seen an increase, particularly today. Look, US dollar, we're looking at 19.99. This week's highs, it has actually got over 2 bags this week. Look, so we're up about 1.85% over the week, about $36 up on the week. I'm interested to see what that was last year. Let's just do it as a year. Yeah, so it's a good, 14% increase on gold for the year. It's not too bad. We'll just have a quick look at silver and see if that's falling in line with gold, which it typically does. It's the same people who manipulate gold prices who manipulate silver prices, you see, so you expect it to be. Oh dear, yeah, about to 11%, 12% on the year. But in terms of the last week, we're up as well. Look, 3% on the week for silver. So good time to be hodling. Good time to be hodling. What else we got on here? We've done the solar flares and that. Good news stories. I didn't get anything set up for you. I'll tell you what though, because I love you. There's no reason why we couldn't, innit? Let's see if I can grab you one now. Here's one I made earlier. Yeah, that's the one I like. So, good news stories then. Because, we like to have a bit of good news. Dog miraculously survives 72 days alone in Colorado mountains after owner's death. That's awful. Poor dog as well. The way they miss their owners. Isn't that right, Hugo Bear? Oh, bless his cotton socks. Bless his furry socks. So yeah, a faithful Jack Russell Terrier named Finney has defied the odds, enduring 72 days alone in the Colorado mountains after his owner tragically succumbed to the hypothermia. Finney was found by his late owner's side. Oh, God, that's going to make me cry. Oh, Rich Moore, 71-year-old resident of Pagosa Springs, Colorado, embarked on 71-year-old embarking on a challenging hiking adventure on his own. Not a good look in the first place, I don't mean to say, but on August 19th, aiming to conquer Blackhead Peak. Unfortunately, he never returned home, triggering a days-long search spanning from the peak to his parked vehicle, but with no success. The distressing search came to an end when a hunter discovered Moore's body and a fiercely protective Finney in the San Juan Mountains of southwestern Colorado on October 30th. Moore, who's an experienced hiker, died of hypothermia. The county coroner said that it can cause people to become disoriented and confused. And of course, with his age as well, he probably would have succumbed slightly quicker than... I mean, he sounded like a pretty fit and healthy type of dude if he's an avid hiker. But tiny Finney somehow survived, likely by hunting small animals such as mice, while also managed... I was going to say, trying to stay out of dodge from mountain lions and even wolves and stuff. coyotes and bears. If that dog could talk, it would be an amazing story, she said. Cool, wouldn't it just? We probably could not even believe the story the dog would tell. So, super glad that the poor man, at least his dog has made it. That poor dog, though, losing its owner must be absolutely devastating. Of course, you know, our hearts go out to the family members of the gentleman. What's the gentleman's name? Does it say here? I don't think it does it? But Rich Moore, sorry, yeah. So hearts out to Rich Moore's family. Super sorry he didn't make it back, but at least perhaps Finney can give them some company as a result. So, I mean, that's supposed to be a good news story. Well, I suppose it is, but unfortunately somebody ended up not making it through. Yeah, Jenny there saying would have been hunting rodents. Look, I'm going to look into it. Okay, yeah, so it's absolutely brilliant conversations in the live chat. Thank you, everybody, for helping everybody. That's why I love this community here in Sigma Prepper. I seem to have attracted some really great technologically and preparedness-focused and experienced people here on the channel, which I'm really proud of because it means it's a complete wealth of information that we can share, even right now live in the chat. So we're talking about things like Faraday cages and ways to do that. What's better than a Faraday bag? And again, you can do various things. You can just get a waste paper basket. You know, you can get the big stainless steel or galvanized steel bins, trash cans. I'm going to do a show. It makes sense for me to do a dedicated show for protective EMP protection, since I'm an electronic engineer and stuff, right? I've built a bunch of stuff to do with that for clients over the years as well. And I know how the military does it. So I know the little tricks to make sure you do. But you don't have to be too paranoid. People think you have to be too paranoid and you have to seal it all up like it's some sort of like stopping air getting in, but it's not. So there's a lot of misinformation out there by many preppers who just aren't electronic engineers. They don't know what they're doing when it comes to Faraday. I need to clear that up because it frustrates me when I watch these videos of like, you know, million subscriber channels who don't know what they're talking about. So we'll do a show about that. And we'll make sure I come up with some good ways that you can protect your equipment cheaply and easily with just readily available things in your home in the event of an EMP. Like I said, solar flare is not going to do much to your electronic devices. That's going to do more to the infrastructure and the grid, right? But certainly from a military perspective, a military EMP is worth protecting from because that would be a first strike. EMP is always a first strike weapon, particularly because if you can take down a country's technological advantage, which is the West fights their military battles from a technological standpoint. That's their competitive advantage. So if you can wipe that out, so they don't have that, you know, that advantage of their technology, then which is why I think it's pretty clear that Russia's already said that first strike would be an EMP probably, and just turn the lights out. Here you go, come, wait. He's desperate to go. You all right, mister? You all right? On your chair, good boy. Up. So, yeah, we've done a good news. Solar flares and quakes we've already done. Memes we're going to skip because I think that's what's got us into trouble in the past. So what we'll do is we'll jump out of it and we'll get back to base camp. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much for joining us at the SHTF Intel. I hope you've enjoyed it. We'll do it every day. Let's just get back to base camp and we'll see how we go from there. Thank you everyone for joining us for this one. Oh no, sorry, don't want to do that. That was close. That's the wrong one. This one. Here we go. Right. Cheers. Back to party music. For those that notice. Right, where are we? What are we doing? We have no idea. Please hit the like button if you have just joined us, though. It does help the video to break past all of the suppress. Thank you, Daily Survival, for keeping us super Streamlabs super chat link in there. Thank you to Lasme and Netrum for your super chats tonight. I really appreciate that. And like I say, I am planning to do an SHTF Intel report on perhaps a daily basis. I did start doing that before being, you know, having my Google account suspended. But yeah, so there's a lot of talk about, and thank you, Pedigree Mongrel. Looks like he's helping a lot of people out. Some brass gauze is good too, yeah. Or copper ideally. Oh, brass, yeah, brass is all right. I've got some copper gauze. You know, when I say gauze, you're talking like, you know, the little bit like this stainless steel mesh in my water filter thing for my bug out water filtration kit. Even something like that, as long as it's conductive. If it conducts electricity, right? If you could use it in a wire, it will work. I mean, aluminium's pretty good as well, right? So you'd be surprised. Silver is the most conductive, but you don't want to be buying all that. But to be honest, just a galvanized steel trash can is good enough with a lid, right? So that's about all we need to do. Belated sneaky sheets. Is there belated sneaky sheets? Oh, it's also now midnight, so we are now officially on what, the 19th is it now? Sorry, what am I talking about? 22nd of November. So what we'll do is I think we'll wrap it up here. Please do get yourself, oh, wrong one. Please do get yourself over on the Discord server. Like I say, it's completely free to join. I need to use this button instead. So loads of rooms in here. I think what we'll do is we'll have a quick after party with our VIP wolf pack. So if you are a Patreon member and you can't see these rooms, let us know on direct message, because I'll need to add you in there. We get to chat about all sorts of stuff in there. So if you are a VIP Patreon member and you're supporting the channel in that way, then you will have access to the VIP after parties where we can all talk amongst ourselves, share advice, and you can ask me any question directly you want and stuff like that. Talk about, you know, you've got problems in your personal life, you know, all the way through to whatever, right? So we'll have a hangout in the VIP after party voice chat after the show if you're up for that. Prophecy 777, our most recent member joining. Thank you so much, really appreciate it. And of course, it's completely free. The only thing for the Patreon members is the VIP area, but all these other rooms and wealth of information, yeah, breaking news you got here. Look, thank you to everyone who's contributing to that. If you've got something you want to share on there, get in there. Good news stories, look, got some good news stories been added in there. Shortages, economic collapse, there's loads of bits and pieces. And of course as well, all of your intel, prepping intel here, homestead, health and medicine, lots of people giving all kinds of, it's just a wealth of survival and prepping information. So I strongly recommend getting yourself over Discord. It's completely free. I spent a long time setting it out for you, so it could be a great place for us to build our community and share our ideas and share our little ways that we can help each other as a community, because this is about all we've got. And a lot of people here obviously are Sigmas, so they're not, you know, they're generally people who are sort of lone wolf type people. They don't have big families, and you know, they don't need big groups of friends and things, or they're just people on their own, single women, things like that, you know, single mothers who need force multipliers, and of course individuals who want to just do well in a crisis, right? So that's kind of what this channel specializes in, because it's just not realistic. If you've already got a homestead town with like 50 fellow preppers around you, then you don't really need me or anyone, do you? You've already got what you want. But for those that don't, this is where you need to be. So thank you to everyone who's joined me. We will have a bash in the after party with the patrons, and talking of which, I do need to say thank you, because for those that don't know, I am 100% independent, no sponsors, no networks, no paid adverts, no monetization, no external funding, no affiliates or partners. So it's okay though, because if you'd like to help keep the channel alive, help is needed more now than ever. These are the ways you can do it. So thank you so very much to those that have. Patreon.com is the way to rock. Get yourself over there, and don't forget, if you are a Patreon member, you do get 15% discount on all of our premium survival gear, and all the gear I provide on Sigma Prepper is all my own design stuff. I am a prototyping engineer, so that's like another 13, 14 products coming up. So that'll give you a discount for that as well. But don't forget, link in the description below for the VIP hotspot. which has already got the discount applied. And these are the people making it happen. If you want to see your name up here, please do give. Starting from like $6 a month, you can support this channel. $6 a month, you get access to all the VIP after parties, all the 15% discounts, all the behind the scenes videos, of which I'll be doing one this week. So that'll be going up. Of course, that's been a problem having the channel turned off for a month. Thank you, Google. So I'll be back to doing the VIP Patreon videos, behind the scenes videos as well. So I really, really appreciate everyone who's helping to keep it rocking. I think there's a few of those that have dropped off that list. I know times are getting tough. But even if you can just afford $6, the lowest thing about that would be so appreciated, because it does all add up. And these are the way to help. All links are in the description, so please take advantage of it. And hopefully we can grow our community here on Sigma Prepper channel. Whew. Thank you so much to Daily Survival, keeping us flourished with the links. Moderator of all moderators. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who has joined us. Great update, nice catching up. Thank you very much. I'm glad I managed to do it. Thank you so very much to All American Prepper as well. I felt like I said to you, man, I saw your comment on the video I had to remove about 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and I thought, oh man, I needed to reply to him on that one. So we'll get hooked up. Do let us know if you're over on Discord, All American Prepper, and we'll get a collab of our channels together, and we can introduce ourselves to each other's subscribers and things. Because for those that don't know, All American Prepper's got his own YouTube channel all about prepping, so go and check him out as well, and we'll get that hooked up in the week or so leading. So thank you so very much. I've had a great time. It's been lovely to see you all. Again, I have had some sort of super epic-ish going on in my personal life, but you know what we do, we just power through, right? And it's all good. So that's how we do. Please hit the like button on the way out if you haven't done already. Thank you so much to everyone for being such a wonderful bunch. Thank you to Daily Survival for being such a great moderator, and including Sandy as well, another one of our moderators. And great seeing you, beautiful. Or isn't it just? What a super wonderful bunch. So we're going to go and have our after party over on the Discord server with the Patreon VIPs. Don't forget, the Ultimate Hotspot link is in the description below if you'd like to take advantage of that. I do strongly recommend doing it. And now's the time, because of course we've got shipping issues coming up very soon with the shipping, with the Christmas period. So what can I say? I've had a good time. I've been Andy, the Sigma Prepper. You've been an absolute wonderful bunch. And as usual, love, peace and progress to the pack.